Hey guys, welcome back to Pixel Rich Games. In this episode of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, we're gonna talk about the different farming builds available and when they're best to use. So the seals that I'll include in this video in alphabetical order are Ancient Part Drop Rate, Battlefield Specific Material Drop Rate, Monster Part Drop Rate, Rare Material Drop Rate, and Sensor Registered Material Drop Rate. Let's start with Monster Part Drop Rate and Ancient Part Drop Rate, as these two function in a similar way. A Monster Part Drop Rate build can definitely help us farm more monster parts faster. This is the easiest to build for me, and I do have it on a couple of different characters, but I prefer using this Lazal Tri-Boomerang because of 1, our hidden seals. Both of them are meant for farming, and 2, we sacrifice so little in terms of weapon base attack damage. Look at this Savage Lionel Sword. The base attack damage at full build with perfectly matched seals is at 172. That's the highest we can go for one-handed weapon link. Now check this out. We are at 157 attack damage on our farming build. We don't get full bonus damage for seal matching because we have to have 2 shapes to get the bonus. First shape times 4 and second times 2 to get 20 bonus damage. To explain how this works, let's use Moblin parts in our example. There are 3 parts that can drop from a Moblin: Moblin Horns, Moblin Fangs, and Moblin Guts. A monster part drop rate weapon like this will help us by increasing our chances for Moblin Horns and Moblin Fangs to drop. Now initially, I thought that drop rate does not affect the drop quantity, but results that I got from experiments that I'll share in future vids kinda say otherwise. So stay tuned for those. Going back to our monster part farming weapon, this will not help us get Moblin Guts. But why, you ask? Moblin Guts don't fall in the monster part category. Instead, they're considered as rare materials. Cool so far? Now for our ancient part drop rate, I picked the Guardian Sword ++ to do this farming build. Similar to the Lazal Tri-Boomerang, the first seal on this weapon is exactly what we're looking for, and the weapon's base damage is also up there. Look at this beauty right here. 163 base attack damage without even seal matching completely. Now depending on your preference, you can actually use the Ancient Battle Axe ++ or the Ancient Spear ++ instead of this. They have the same hidden seals, and if you build them exactly like this, you'll peak at 160 base attack damage. Pretty awesome, right? I'm actually working on this next, but this one would have attack speed instead. Now going to ancient parts, screws, springs, gears, and shafts, they all count as ancient parts. Ancient cores and giant ancient cores, on the other hand, both count as rare materials. So like our monster part drop rate weapon, an ancient part drop rate weapon will not increase our chances to get cores and giant cores. Okay, I don't want to say that these 2 builds are useless, but rather, these are the 2 that we can easily outgrow. Since we already talked about rare materials, I guess it's time to talk about the rare material drop rate seal. As the name states, this seal will increase our chances to get Moblin Guts, ancient cores, and other rare materials. What's great about this seal is it'll help us gather rare materials so much faster. One big problem though, these seals are so much rarer than the first 2 based solely from my personal experience. The easiest way to know if a drop is rare is this. Rare materials are in yellow, it's that easy. Like I said, this seal is pretty tough to collect, but this is the weapon I'm working on. It's a Dragon Bone Moblin Club, and its first hidden seal is a rare material drop rate, and again, this weapon also has good damage. Right now, it's just sitting at 149. But once I get all the seals that I need, this will be at 159 base attack damage. Definitely not bad if you ask me. On to our next seal. It's time to talk about battlefield specific material drop rate. Again, I'm using Link's Lizal Tri Boomerang for the same reason stated earlier. This weapon's just that good for farming. Now I know that everything that we've talked about so far has been on Link, and the reason is simply because Nintendo put the best farming weapons on him. I really hope that other characters also get great farming weapons come DLC, so they also get some action even when just farming for materials. If you don't know how this works, it's actually pretty simple. Let's say we want to farm for hardy durians. Let's target it with our Sheikah sensor like so. Now we see just 2 maps where we can potentially farm for hardy durians. I already know that the siege of Fort Hateno is so bad for farming materials, so we're just left with the other one. And this is the mission Territorial Battle. Once we have this selected, just press X to view the battle info. On this screen, we can see all the battlefield specific materials. So not only will our farming weapon help us get more hearty durians, it'll also help us get truffles, radish, this green crab, and silent shrooms. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Now let's have a look at my favorite mission, Unnatural Disaster, and let's see what we can farm there. Whoops! Battlefield specific material drop rate won't do anything for us here. Now because I know that there's a Malice Guardian in this mission, I want to try farming for ancient parts. Let's see which ones we can get here. Ancient screws. Yes. Ancient springs. Yes. Ancient gears. Yes. Ancient shafts. Yes. Ancient core. See that? Nothing. So no matter what build we use to farm here, we won't be able to get ancient cores. It simply doesn't drop here. Okay, moving on. Giant ancient cores. Yes again. So for our next build, we're finally moving away from Link and onto my favorite farming champion, Riju. Well, Patricia. Check this out. We use a Bridle of the Seven, we get free damage boosts from its hidden seals, and we also get to play with 161 base attack damage even if we completely ignore seal matching. 72% sensor registered material drop rate. Pretty sick, right? I gotta say, this build is at least twice as hard to complete compared to the battlefield specific material drop rate build. Also, Impa's Faithful Kodachi's first hidden seal is actually this, but I don't like it cause we lose a ton of damage, plus she's not as fast as Chief Riju here, I mean Patricia. What's great about this build? We already know which ancient materials drop here, right? So let's put them all on the sensor. Then, let's go back to our battle info. Even if this is blank, we're able to increase our chances of getting the materials that we are looking for. Another awesome thing that this build has going for it is it completely ignores rarity. Remember the rare materials that we couldn't get with our monster part and ancient part builds? This is, in my opinion, the best solution to farm all farmable rare materials. The rare material drop rate seal is just too rare. Yes, I still want to build it, but I think this is so much better. We can target anything that drops on a mission that we want to run. Again, completely ignoring the material type. Now to sum this up, when is it best to use each one of the builds? Monster part and ancient part drop rate seals are good to use when you're just starting to take farming to the next level. Battlefield specific material drop rate seals are my overall best. We can target farm majority of the materials with just this. I would say if you just want one farming weapon because you don't have the time or patience to get them all, this is it. Now, if you're done with common mats or want to get even more specific with your drops, this is where sensor registered material drop rate seals shine. Lastly, rare material drop rate seals. Honestly, they have so little use compared to the effort required to build a weapon with them. So I'll just say use them when you're able to build them. I still think sensor registered material drop rate seals are way better. I'm doing vids soon about how good these builds are, so stay tuned for those. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you like it, thumbs down if you didn't. Hit that bell to get notified whenever I have new content out. See you on my next vid. Stay healthy, keep safe, and God bless us all.